as you can see, they didn't have a ton of stuff. They had some decent stuff if you're looking for bargain fragrances, but mostly stuff I have. I almost picked up Eternity Air, but I passed. I can always get that. Finally ran across Grapefruit and Sage, though. So there was a time when I really wanted to get it. Then there was a follow-up of me hearing from a lot of people that I value their opinions, saying it's pretty basic and nothing special. So I was like, when I run into it, I guess I'll pick it up. So I stopped actively searching and ended up running into it. So let's bust it open, check it out. Before we dive too far into it, there it is, 4.2 ounce Grapefruit and Sage, $26.99. Relatively new release. Wow, this looks a lot like Cool Water Parfum as far as the juice color, clearness of the bottle and everything. I mean, I like grapefruit, I like sage. It's going to smell like a generic blue fragrance probably. That's my expectation. I don't remember the exact notes. Obviously grapefruit and sage is in here, but I'm sure it'll smell pleasant, but I have a feeling it's going to be very familiar. I just hope it's very familiar to a fragrance I really love. So there's a good spray. It does remind me of the Intense a little bit, though. I get that same bubblegummy type of feel that I get from Cool Water Intense. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, it's a very bubblegum smell, for sure. And not exactly Invictus type of bubblegum, but it smells like bubblegum. It's a very creamy type of grapefruit. This is not the juiciness I expected. It is very pleasant. It's very youthful. I could see where a lot of people are going to call this generic. I totally get it. It's dosed full of sage. This is full of sage. It's actually a little touch of powder on my skin. I have a little bit of powderiness going on here. The grapefruit is more mouth-watering. It's not real astringent or sharp or anything like that. It's not too tart or anything. It's a little bit, but it's not heavily tart. It's nice, it's pleasant, it's extremely familiar. It smells like a bunch of other fragrances. Definitely youthful blue fragrance style. I'll probably rock it as my scent of the evening. I just got out the shower and remembered I needed to finish filming this video from earlier today. I've had quite the long day. It's nice. It's not anything I would recommend anybody rush out and get, because if you have a bunch of niche fragrances, you might get disappointed by this. But if you're the type that's looking for that cheap gem that's going to smell really good and could potentially get you some compliments, yeah, 27 bucks. It's not a bad fragrance for 125 ml of this. Yeah, it smells much better on skin than just out the atomizer for sure. It's got a little bit of a warming type of quality to it. I'm curious on what the full note breakdown is. I'm recording on my phone, so I can't pull it up right now. I didn't bring my camcorder with me to Louisiana. But I tell you what, it has a citrus bubblegum smell. It's very, very straightforward. I don't foresee this changing drastically. I don't know if there's any woods in here or just a musk or something, but it's got to be more than 2 notes. It's going to be at least 3 notes, but it definitely does smell of grapefruit, a more creamy style grapefruit, because it's got this bubblegum type of smell to it with the sage. It's a hefty dose of sage. If you do not like sage in a fragrance, this is a sage bomb. You won't like this at all. It does smell like the Intense. I would say this is pretty redundant to the Intense. I doubt it's the beast that Cool Water Intense is, but it seems to be relatively close in power, at least early on. It's really strong coming off of my hand right now, but it does smell very generic. First impression rating on this one, I would say this is better than good. I don't think it's very good. Like, I wouldn't really put it in the 7+ category, so I'm going to give this one a 6.5 out of 10. I think that's a good grade for this one. That's not a terrible rating. Please don't think when you see 6.5 out of 10, for those of you newer to my rating system, it's not a bad thing. 6 and 6.5 are better than good. Just good. Average fragrances are 5 and 5.5. So this is a notch better, if you will, but not quite in that very good category. Because when you start hitting 7 out of 10 or better, they start getting really good. in my opinion, based on my scoring system. And this one falls half a point short of getting really good, but it's better than good. That was my trip around the 2 rack stores that have my best chance of getting a decent fragrance here in Houma, Louisiana while I was visiting back home. So I always have to check out the rack stores while I'm here. Sometimes they're really good hits, sometimes they're a bit of a miss. This is one that I knew eventually I would run across and I was planning on grabbing, so put it in the win column. It's decent. As a matter of fact, we'll spray this on as my scent the rest of the night. I got those 4 sprays plus the one on my hand to sniff on. It's pleasant. It's solid. You could do a lot worse with a sub $30 fragrance, but in some instances you could also do better with a sub $30 fragrance. There's fragrances in the $20 to $30 price point that are better than this, but I wouldn't say they're much better. So like I said, check this one out if you get an opportunity to. Obviously sample first if you can. If not, it's not a risky blind buy. Just know that it's a sage bomb and it's going to smell like a bunch of other bubblegummy type of fragrances. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on Grapefruit and Sage from Davidoff in the Cool Water line and you give it a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.